friends, welcome to Explore YouTube channel. Today we'll be covering our next lesson, content marketing. Friends, everyone knows in digital marketing, content is the king. Not in digital marketing, also offline businesses. Strategically, content is the king. And here we'll be covering four topics: understanding content marketing, why it is important to understand content marketing, then strategic overview of the content marketing, what sources influences behavior of the consumer, and the last, how to create a content marketing strategy means content creation. But before that, we have to understand about strategic marketing, where we have to set a planning regarding objectives and goal of the organization, considering the internal and external factors which may affect the business policy, procedures, strategies. And considering this, you will be able to know about the strength, weakness, any kind of opportunities arise, or the threats being made by the competitors against your product, services, and the content as well. Afterwards, you will be able to implement your strategy and accordingly analyze depending on the change over the course of the time since the strategy has been launched, the campaign has been launched. And here, further considering about the business process in terms of digital marketing, where you have to create a content, you need a process. First, you have to understand about the content and for whom you have to establish a content, and accordingly you need to schedule your post, your campaign once the content is being made, and afterwards you can implement it and study the course of change accordingly. But here the main focus is we have to consider both strategic marketing and business processes in order to create a content, and we should be able to distribute it through different channels. We have to list out the channels through which we will be going to distribute our content to the potential customers, prospective customers, because our content should be relevant to the need, want, and demand of the customer, where it should be trustable. Then accordingly the customer going to make it e-word, spreading it through and sharing it with your friends and families, and afterwards you will be able to know that yes, your content is having authority and the popularity as well, depending on the change during the course of the time. This will help you to retain the customer, the potential one, or the acquiring of new customer as well against your competitor. But before that, you have to define the audience as well in order to drive the profitable customer action. Friends, once it's been done, you will be able to create a prolonged relationship with audiences, which leads to trust, means loyalty. So here we start a topic, understanding content marketing. The simple meaning is you need a content which should aware your potential customer, so they will be able to consider your content depending on the value benefits you have been providing to the client, and accordingly they will be able to take a decision. This means you are acquiring or retaining the customer, and depending on that, post purchase you are providing customer service as well to your customers to keep on retaining the long relationship and the loyalty of the customer as well with the firm and the brand. So here the only purpose is creating and distributing the relevant, authoritative, and popular content which fulfill the need of your customer. Only then they will be going to attract towards your content and engage themselves. This means you have to clearly define what you have been preparing for your target audience with the objective of driving profitable customer action. Secondly, you must have a brand essence and persona. Every person is related to some kind of brand, either ordinary or either the expensive brand as well. It all depends on the need and wants of the customer. That's why they have been related to that particular brand. Here you have to understand the attributes of your brand so that it speaks emotionally and connect with the customer's feeling as well. And you must have a tone of voice for your brand to reach your customers in order to engage them with your brand. The brand personality differentiates the brand in the marketplace. It means how much market capitalization you have have been done since the product launch or overall as a brand. And the consumer motivation for paying any attention to a brand means you are introducing a persona, a reference person with whom you are reaching to so many customers at one time by preparing an image, video, content in order to entice your customer so that they will be able to take a decision to buy your product. It means they got once the moment they have been looking at your content or watching the video, they will speculate an image in their own mind that this is what they have been letting and will have a need for that one as well. This will help you to understand the customer need and want as well. But afterwards, you must have a content pillars, means the theme, the tagline, which will influence the customer decision. Only then you will be able to connect with them because you are providing the content depending on the needs and wants, and your themes are accurately providing the brand essence to them as well. You are not here directly considering the sales and profit. You are speaking to the interest of the audience, so they will be understand, yes, it is for me and I'm looking this one only. The fourth one is content matching objective. Here, like we said, the themes and tagline should relate to the content. You must understand that you have been providing the information which is directly related to the person need and want. Here you must have a medium, the source through which you are establishing your opportunity. Means, are you providing your content in a white paper, articles, website, videos, whatsoever? So you have a medium over here. You know to introduce your graphics which will entice your customer. The whole purpose of this thing is regarding the main objective is to keep the attention of your consumer, that they should keep engaging with your content, otherwise they will avoid it after some time and will shift to your competitor content as well. Hence the selection of right medium based on our objective is utmost important. Only then your production, what you have been done for the content, will bring result for you. The fourth one is content audit. Here the content audit of all the existing content supplied by the brand on the website, white paper, articles, videos, and content shared on social media can be considered. Means you have to identify once the content has been launched on your platforms which you have selected as a channel. You must know what content is doing progress and which content is not providing any kind of source or feedback through it. So you have to update your content. You have to analyze is that content is precise what the customer is being looking for. Otherwise you will be able to suffer your brand and people will be shifting to the competitor as well. So friends, you must ensure what purpose you have been preparing your content and how you will be approaching to with the story to your customer, and what themes and taglines you should be used which will directly influence the customer thinking mind and engaging them with the objective, because they will be looking at your content through article, through blogs, through videos, through images, and this is a straightway strategy where you'll be engaging them. And you have to keep on auditing your content as well, that do you need to update it timely, or what are the other things you have to follow while doing a content audit. So next topic is strategy overview. After completing this one of understanding content marketing, here content component is the first one where we have to understand for what you are writing your content and why you are writing the content for that prospective clients, customers, consumers. And here you have to segment your customers depending on the location, demographics, age, gender, interest, behavior, because your content should speak depending on the interest and needs of the customer as well. Otherwise, their behavior will shift towards your competitor. They won't be able to consider your content for taking a decision. They will avoid you, and they will not having any kind of interest. And further, this will also affects your brand identity as well. So you have to understand whom to are reaching, what is your customer, who is your audience, and you have to accordingly design your structure of the matter you have been writing as a content. Means you must have to provide a heading which will directly let the customer know this is the heading about which they will be able to know the content meaning, and then the subheadings, the paragraphs, how many paragraphs you have been looking for, starting from the intro, then the benefits, then the benefits against the competitors, then the value you have been creating extra for them, and at last the action to take, because this will help you funnel your audience to you. For instance, if somebody is looking at some kind of content on some website and that website is yours, what you have to do is you have to provide all this information over there, and at last they will click on the button to buy the product and services. And now here you have to see that are they coming from social media accounts, are they coming from eWord, are they coming from Google search, are they coming from some any other platform. Here you have to understand the scenario of funnel in order to understand the customer journey from awareness to procurement. Now the next component is people component. Here workflow, how content is doing on social media, website, what trends are going on. Means you have to keep on updating your content. You have to know which content is working progressively and which content is suffering. You have to understand the competitor study as well by observing your competitors content as well, and how many people are talking about your content, your brand, your product and services online through Twitter, Facebook, in Pinterest, YouTube, and so on. But friends, once you have prepared your content, you must know that you have not followed somebody content copy and paste. You have to prepare your content originally. You have to write it by yourself, or you can hire the agencies who can write the content for you, because they know the better all the strategies of online platform guidelines. So here, in case if you provide content copy and paste, you can earn money for short time, but later on when Google finds you that you have been doing black hatting, you have been taking someone else's share by copy and pasting, you will be eliminated and your website will suffer. So you won't be having you so you won't be taking any kind of risk to make your website blacklisted or your social media accounts blacklisted, because you will be losing your platform of reaching customer. Now the next component is consumer persona. Consumer persona is a profile that a writer creates to embody the characteristics of the target. Like earlier I told, you are referring a person, either your past customer and their experiences in your story, and defining the content. This is what you will be getting from the product once procured, against the value benefits against the competitors, and this will be helping the potential customers considering your content and accordingly take a decision, because you must know who is your consumer. Are they in a family, are they school children, are they college children, students, are they university professor, teacher, professionals, MNCs, governments, whatsoever, and accordingly you have to prepare your content. Now the further component is tagline. You might have seen so many companies of MNC or in national domestic companies, they have been using a taglines to influence the thinking of the consumer in order to consider them and engage with them emotionally and feelings of a sense as well. For instance, Coca-Cola. They are providing Coca-Cola against the competitor Pepsi, and that's why they have been keep investing their lot of money in content marketing as well, means advertisements marketing. But for that you need a content, you need a video, you need a celebrity, you need a persona who will be defining your content to the consumer in order to engage them. But here you have to avoid the content mismatched with the goal. Whatever you have been saying in your content, the product should be providing the same thing as well. Otherwise, you will be losing your customers. Then segment content as per goal to identify if anything is missing. You have to understand that as well. Depending on the customer needs, nothing should be missed by you. You have to consider all the options in order to influence and dominate the thinking of your consumer. For example, I gave you an example of LG who having a tagline of life's good, which is a benchmark tagline as well, because they are providing all the goods which are related to households and directly influencing the mind that the LG is providing all those household goods like washing machine, refrigerator, and so on. The fifth component over here is consumer's journey. Like I told you before, funnel. Here we have to understand the consumer journey through which source platform they have been coming to your website and then your store and then them taking a decision to buy your product and services. For instance, if somebody is looking to buy a ticket of a movie, then they have to visit to online platform of that particular websites, or they can visit to affiliate marketing websites where their services is being available, or they have to physically visit to the cinemas to buy a ticket. So we have to understand the journey through which source the consumer is coming to your des- defined final position where they will be going to buy your product. And here one of the major aspect is humorous videos may be successful initially making potential customers aware of brand. Reason being, you have to make consumer first about your brand and its positioning as well. Only then they will be know the brand identity, and afterwards they just have to follow the steps once they got engaged with the product content. Now friends, the four pillars in content marketing which directly influence the decision making is are entertainment, education, inspire, and convincing. For entertainment, why it's been done to aware and emotionally attached with the consumer client behavior. Here, the branded videos made by the firm, the businesses, they are directly engaging the customers and the competition. Competition means where all the competitors have been providing similar or different kind of data but in of same content and viral. People will be looking for those videos as well which are quite trending today and they have been very well viral on social media accounts, online, Google browsers, websites as well. Quizzes. Firms, businesses also trying to engage their potential clients or masses through quizzes. What they offer with quizzes, they making people aware about their own brand, identity, product and services, and then at last they are providing if you give right answers, you will be rewarding for kindness or cash prizes. And the fifth one is games. Entertainment in games part is one of the utmost strategical point view in today content marketing where so many online games have been providing by many firms. Actually what happens when somebody is playing cricket, football, soccer, rugby in physical form and you also like to play the same game but you won't be able to play due to some kind of deficiencies or resources. But here companies providing you games in artificial form where you are engaging yourself, your mind, and you are emotionally attached to that game as well. So this is how they influence with entertainment to induce you to take a decision to buy the product and services. Further, you must have content which also educate. Now here, what are those things which provide education? These are e-news, e-books, articles, blogs, press release, guides, and trend reports. Because all these things have white paper, articles, blogs, whatsoever. They have been providing precise information about the need, want, product and services we have been looking for as a consumer. They have been providing all those things which have been done earlier by someone else and guiding you for the same prospect as well to make a buy. And trending reports like we discussed earlier as well, viral. Somebody have to get awareness first for specific product and services to take a rational decision to buy a product and services. The reason being over here is we also get educate through such sources as well. The third pillar is inspiring. People have their ideal in terms of celebrity, sportsman, politics, and so on. And when somebody is indulging with them through videos, images, contents, interviews, they will be directly influenced and would like to buy the same thing which is being promoted in the video, images, contents as well as community forms. For instance, there are so many communities groups available on Facebook, and here you can approach them and directly ask them to make sure campaign launch on their platform. This will directly encourage the already existing members of the community to buy your product because you know this is the community where I've been targeting and I'll be getting a lot of consumer customers over here. Reviews. When somebody is providing any kind of review depending on the post purchase on websites or any other source, the next customer who is new one or the existing one will be able to read your reviews and able to make a decision for purchase. This is kind of emotional attachment as well because they have common interest. The fourth pillar is convincing. Here, convincing things are events, ratings, product features, interactive demo, webinars, calculations, case studies. Events, sometimes companies organize any kind of musical events in order to promote their product and services to directly influence the mind of the consumer. Ratings, when somebody has already done the post purchase, they are providing reviews and ratings over there. Product features, like I discussed before, the value benefits other than your product features you have been providing against your competitor always dominate the consumer purchase decision. And then webinars. These days, so many companies, online platforms have been using to organize webinars in order to take class, in order to take exams, in order to provide information and directly engaging the customers with their webinars in order to take a decision. And the further one is calculations and case studies, where earlier done research influence the mind of the consumer in order to take a decision to make a purchase. These whole things are kind of rational decision making because they have been providing the real information being done earlier, and depending on that, the consumer will be able to take the right decision. Here, the fourth topic in content marketing is content creation. Like we discussed before, all the things, how to know your customers, who is your customer, then gathering information about them depending on location, demographics, and interest and behavior, then telling them the content in article, videos, images through a persona by loudly speaking the tone of voice you have been using for your themes and taglines and providing information about your content. And afterwards, you have to make a cross check of your audits as content audits as well in order to keep providing the fresh information with precise strategy. Here, the content creation means you have to think like a writer, what you can write in your content. You have to cover all those points like I just discussed before in a moment ago. Here, the voice and brand personality the persona is going to display to the consumer is utmost important depending on the nature of information being provided in the content. You must have to ensure the layout and structure of your content because what happens if you are building a home, you don't know the layout, you don't know the structure, then the second level of your building may fall if you don't have a strong foundation. So here you have a strong must have a strong foundation in terms of layout like headings, subheadings, paragraphs, call to action button, and so on, and structure as well, because you know that this is the content I have to keep updating, and I have a calendar formulation as well. Means if I'm providing this content today, then after a week or a month, our competitors are doing something extra than us. So we have to keep engaging ourselves to provide the fresh content and very precise as well. This will help you convert your audience into customers, and providing word of mouth will escalate your product sales and services. Make sure to allocate content assignments to right person to ensure content follow-up. Like I discussed before, content audit, you must have a right person for that one, or you can hire the agencies as well. And accordingly, you can structure and schedule your reach to the audience through different kind of channels list you have prepared earlier, like social media, online websites, affiliates, and so on. Friends, with this we have covered the basic things which we are quite handy in preparing a foundation for content marketing, where you have to consider all the aspects and accordingly you can reach the consumers. Now the final topic over here is final scenario. Like we just discussed the whole earlier, we must not focus on sales and revenue to earn profit. We have to engage the customers with the content. Otherwise, if we provide them, if we are just looking for sales and services revenue only, then we won't be able to survive longer. We have to suffer at last, because consumer always engage with right content, and if they are not getting that services from your products and services, then they will be feeling dissatisfied, and this dissonance will shift them to your competitors. Further, friends, we also have to know in digital marketing that if you have been preparing your content, how it will look like on phone, iPhone, smartphones, tabs, tablets, iPads, and laptop and desktop as well. So you have to ensure the right size in structuring your content as well. For instance, if somebody is sending email, then that email should open in all the devices accordingly the size of the and the resolution of the device. Further, friends, distribution, like we discussed before, we must have a list of channels through which we will be going to launch a campaign or strategy in order to engage our customers with the content, in order to increase our profit, in order to increase our product and services sale. I hope you like this video, friends, in which we have covered all the topics of content marketings, and I'm thankful to you for watching my video. Please like and share Explore YouTube channel.